name is Anirudh Kalbande. I am the founder and director at Fireblaze AI School. And in this particular one, we'll be talking all about Matplotlib. Now let's start with the coding part. So I'll be using Jupyter Notebook, and I have just created a new notebook for say all about Matplotlib data visualization. Now, since Matplotlib is a library in Python, we'll be importing that one. Okay, so first we'll have to import all the necessary libraries. So import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. That's it. So we'll need these three libraries as of now. And then what I'll do is, since I'll be making a lot of series and data frame, I'll be loading some. So from pandas, import series and data frame. So we have imported these two functions from pandas library as well over here right now. So we have already loaded these two functions over here. Now we'll try to understand that how we can load a data. So I already have a data set in my folder called as automobile.csv. So what I'll be doing is I'll be simply loading this CSV file over here so that we can work on it. So df1 is equals to pd.read_csv, and then within quotes I'll write the name. And then when we run it, we actually have this file over here in our environment. And when we do head, you can see this is my data. So it is having one unnamed column, mpg, cylinders, displacement, horsepower, and all of these. Now unnamed column, unnamed 0, this is not of any use. So maybe I'll clean my data and have df1 square bracket quotes, and I'll just delete this one. And then again, if we try to look at head, you can see now we directly have mpg till name. So these are the different data sets. These are the different columns what we have in this particular one. Now, within this, what we'll be doing is we'll be exploring different graphs. So the first graph, what we're going to be seeing is a bar graph. Now, for bar graph, we need to have one categorical variable, and then y-axis could be just count of that categorical variable. Now, say for example, here we have origin. Okay. And there are different origins from where the different car models of this automobile industry are, right? So what we can do is we can simply have, for the very first time, origin dot value underscore counts. Now this will give us count of each origin, right? Like how many cars are there from USA, how many cars are there from Japan, how many cars are there from Europe. These are the counts. Now we want to visualize them using graph, right? We want to create a bar graph, which x-axis would be these countries and y-axis would be their count. Okay. So for that, there are multiple ways, but we'll try to see how it could be done in Matplotlib. Within Matplotlib, we have loaded this guy as plt. So what I'll do is I'll write plt dot bar. So bar is a function within Matplotlib to make a bar graph, and then we'll give round bracket, and over here we need to pass x and y. Okay, so I'll show you one more demonstration before this, that suppose if I simply have an x as say male and female, and suppose I have y column as say 10 and 20. That's it, x and y. Okay, I've just created two lists for you. And I simply have plt.bar x comma y variable, and we just write plt.show at the end to conclude our graph and run it. Can you see what a wonderful graph I am getting? And this is your bar graph where you are comparing these two categories. So x-axis is male, female, and y-axis is at 10 and at 20, right? That's it. But here we have just used a list to create this one. Now, what if the data is in data frame, which most of the scenarios would be, and this is the scenario. So over here, what we can do is we can just take this guy, we can write dot index to this, we'll get all the labels. If you write dot values to this, we'll get all the values, right? Oh no, round bracket open close. We'll get values of the data in the form of an array, right? Now this is your x and this is your y. That's it. So what I can do is I can just simply say create a pld.bar, and I can use this in my x, give a comma, and I can use this in my y, and then pld.show at the end. Okay, and then you can see you have USA, Japan, Europe, and y-axis would be the count of them. So 249, 79, 70. So that they are comparable. Now this graph directly gives you an insight that okay, maximum cars had their origin from Japan or from USA, and least in Europe, and Japan is in between. But like even if you combine Japan and Europe, it won't be equivalent to the car which have got manufactured in this particular data set and has the origin of USA, right? It's easy for us to digest. It's easy for us to absorb the data over here. Now within this, what you can do is you can even give title to this. So say pld.title, and within quotes I can write say compare origin with compare, or say compare different origins, car origin. Okay, and maybe I can even have an x-axis, pld.x label. So x label is a function which is used to display what you want to have in x-axis, and for that I can simply have it as say origin, and for pld.y label we can have say count. So y-axis would display different counts, and when we run it, can you see you have count, you have origin, and you have compare different car origins. Okay, now that's how you can create this bar graph and have it for your own use case. Now if you just give a comma over here and have color as say red, you would get a dazzling red color bar graph as well. So you can change the color whatever you want. Even there are provisions to change color of each bar too, which later on in advanced version, advanced different libraries can be done as a by default option. I'm talking about Seaborn. Okay, but yeah, that's your bar graph and representation of your origin. Now within this, if you move ahead and say you want to understand how you can create a pie chart using Matplotlib, right? So what you can do is you can simply write say pie chart. Okay, and the function for pie chart is plt.pie. Now with this data itself you can do it, or you can even make use of raw data, how we have done for male and female. So let's try for that. So you have this x, you have this y, right? The function would be plt.pie. Pie chart, pie function is in Matplotlib. Now within this, first you will have to, like if you do shift tab, you'll get to see what the function is all about and how many arguments it has. So first is x, then it is labels, right? X basically tells the values. So here y has the values 10 and 20. So you'll first pass that. Then you'll write labels is equals to what are the labels you want in your pie chart. Here I want male and female. So that's in my x. So I'll compare it with x. And then simply I'll write pld.show. You can see I get a simple pie chart for male and female. Like my female area was exactly double, that is 20. So that's why it's major region. What's a pie chart without percentages in it, right? So you can even get your percentages engraved over there. So you can simply take this guy, give a comma, and write auto PCT. So auto percentage is auto PCT name function, and within that there's a fixed formatting as percentage I %%. Now it's fixed, I is for integer. When you run it, you can see you got 33 and 66. If you want float, you just need to write F over there and floating points, how many decimals you want. Okay, so if I just create one more, and instead of this, if I write 0.2f, and if we run it, you can see you got two decimal values now over there, 0.33, 0.67. It's rounding off, right? So there are both the provisions. Now, I would want you to pause this video over here and try creating one for origin yourself, right? The one which we just did, this guy. Okay, try doing it. And if you are finding it difficult, I've already mentioned, you can anytime watch our previous videos which are available. So I would 100% recommend you to go through the Python, the NumPy, the Pandas, and all other high informative videos over there on the channel, right? And if you have not yet subscribed, please do like, share, and subscribe this. And again, like as a standard practice, right? This video is there because in our previous videos, many learners told me that they wanted to learn Matplotlib and wanted to understand how they can create different visualizations. So that's why this particular video is there. So if there is anything else you want to understand in data science, machine learning, AI, you can just write in the comments below. And if not, you can just tell me how I can improve this video or what you liked about this video. Okay, thank you so much. Now, moving ahead, we can simply try that out. So the answer to your question is, I was directly having this origin, right? And to that I did value underscore counts. So I had these labels and I had these values. So in my pie chart, plt.py, my x would be this guy's values. So I'll just simply pass this and I'll write values over here. Okay. Now this, as the values we have fetched over here, right? This index and values. So this will simply give us values, and there are no round bracket open close over there. And then the labels would be with index. So labels is equals to, again you can paste this and index. And simply you can write plt.show. You should get a pie chart. USA, major region, more than half. Japan and Europe. Now if you want percentages, you already have an idea what you should do for that. Auto PCT is equals to percentage 1.2f %. So you got these percentages over there, and that's the code. And 62.56% of the cars had their origin of US. That's what the insight says. And around 19.59 and 19.85 and 17.59 are from Europe and Japan. Okay. Now to this itself, suppose I want to take a piece of pie out. For that as well, we have something. You can try that out on your own, and that is called as explode argument within .py. So please try that out as well. And if not, do let me know in the comments. I'll try to cover it up in the next one. Right? I'll keep something for you. Now, before we go ahead, so this was for categorical data. Now let's try to see some graph which are for numerical data. So again, let's just see our head. That's the data what we have. There's a MPG column and there's a displacement column. There's acceleration, weight, horsepower, model, lot of them. Now suppose we want to use two numerical parameters and we want to understand how is the relation between them. Like MPG is miles per gallon, right? It's the average what we generally say. And weight, or say horsepower. But let us try to understand in terms of mechanical terms. Do these two features, MPG and weight, have any kind of relationship between them? If I want to find the answer to this question with respect to a graph, right? I can obviously use, a lot of different statistical parameters to do that, like correlation and all. But if I want to just know with respect to a graph that what kind of relation does these two hold, whether the car is heavy, the MPG reduce, or whether the car is light, the MPG increase, what is it? Does it move up? Does both the features move up, move down? What is the side of direction, right? Upwards, downwards, what is the relation? For that, the best wonderful graph is a scatter plot, wherein each values are represented by a dot over the graph. So what do we do for that is we write pld.scatter x and y. So that x-axis is something, y-axis is something. So x-axis could be mpg, y-axis could be weight, and then we can have plt.show. So when we run this, you can see all those dots over there have a representation of each row of mpg and weight. Now, the clear representation says that few cars which were having very low mpg were having very high weight. And as the mpg is increasing, the weight of the car is decreasing and it's moving downwards. So that's what is the information what we have, right? It's quite wonderful and interesting to work like this. I love it. I hope you as well. So pld.x label, and if I write x, my x-axis is mpg, and plt.y label, it's weight, right? And plt.title. Now this title is all about comparing, or say you can directly write mpg versus weight, right? Run it and there you go. Or say scatter plot of mpg versus weight, right? There you have that. Now this is how you compare two numerical parameters, and there are a lot of different ways, there are a lot of different graphs still remaining in Matplotlib. Like you can have your histogram, you can have box plot at a higher level, but again you need to have knowledge of statistics, measure of cell tendencies, measure of spread. Combining all of it, you will be able to generate very wonderful insights altogether. I hope that you had fun in understanding all these three different graphs which we made in different ways using multiple different functions. Thank you so much. We'll stop over here for this one. And yes, again, if you have a lot of different things to explore, please do let me know in the comments below how you found out this video. Thank you so much. Please do like, share and subscribe.